What's up? This is JB Sports. What's good? What's going on out there, YouTubers and YouTubettes? I'm back again with another one. Gonna talk about Canelo and Triple G. Canelo recently said that he would gladly fight Triple G if he gets another belt. This was a shocking statement to a whole lot of people out there, because people assume that if Canelo defeated Jacobs and Triple G beats his next opponent, that they would match up later on this year. But Canelo's saying that's not necessarily be the case. He says this year Canelo says this year he's all about unifying the belts. So if he beats Jacobs, he's looking to fight another champion at 160. That could be maybe a Demetrius Andrade, a guy like that, maybe fight him for a belt. And he's all about unifying the belts. That's what he wants to do. So maybe that could be a potential matchup. If that's the case, that will leave Triple G out in the cold. He would be out in the cold for a potential matchup later this year, unless Triple G fights Demetrius Andrade. Maybe he fights him and beats him and gets the belt, and then him and Canelo could unify and have a big unification match, a third encounter later on. I mean, maybe early next year. That would be the timeline. If he's saying Triple G has to give a belt, man, Triple G's fighting basically a bum in this next fight. They're throwing a lot of different names out in Dom, maybe another guy they just threw out there. Maybe if he gets by that matchup, then he would have to fight maybe a Demetrius Andrade sometime in the fall. And if he wins that matchup, then Canelo said he would gladly agree to fight him. So that's kind of a stunning statement. That's going to be kind of interesting, because when you look at the landscape of the zone, they don't have too many big money fights on the horizon that can maybe up their subscription. I think they were looking at bringing Triple G. All a part of the reason why they wanted to bring Triple G to the zone was to have a matchup between him and Canelo, a third encounter that would help uplift and upgrade and enhance and increase their subscriptions to the zone. But if Canelo is now saying that he wants to fight the champions, he wants to unify the titles. He said there's 2 titles out there that he wants to unify with. That'll be a Demetrius Andrade potential matchup, and that would potentially stop that fight from happening this year. A lot of people were assuming that fight was going to happen this year. That would stop that fight from happening. So Canelo, I think Canelo is still, to me, I think this is more of a case of Canelo is still bitter about all the allegations that Triple G said about him, particularly before the second fight, the rematch. He threw a lot of things out there saying, that Canelo was dirty, Canelo was a drug cheat, Canelo, the tainted meat excuse was lame, it wasn't true, he's dirty, and stuff like that, and insinuating, him and his trainer insinuating that he was dirty. He was dirty probably before the first fight too, and before the rematch. So I don't think Canelo, liked being called dirty. He's saying that it was just an innocent mistake with tainted meat, but that's not what Team Galafin was saying. They were, especially Triple G. Triple G basically said he was dirty. Abel Sanchez said, well, it could have been tainted meat or whatever. He should have been more careful. Bottom line is he failed the drug test, and that was the reason why the second fight did not take place in May. It ended up taking place later on in September, the end of 2018. So again, Canelo saying he's not, he's got to get a belt first. So we'll see if that's just talk, or is that truth behind that, or it's just talk, hating on Triple G, basically calling him a drug cheat before their rematch, or is he really true to his word and saying that he wants to fight champions, he wants to unify the belt? So that'd be really interesting to see. I think a potential matchup between Canelo and Demetrius Andrade, depending on how Andrade looks in this next fight, I have a hard time seeing that they take that fight next with Demetrius Andrade. But maybe if Canelo is hell-bent on telling De La Hoya and say, hey, I want to unify the belts, and kind of go against what the plan that Golden Boy has mapped out for him, and say, I really want that fight, maybe that fight happens. As you remember, a few years back, Canelo demanded to fight Ezralando Lara. Golden Boy didn't want that fight for him, but Canelo put his foot down and demanded that fight, and that fight ended up taking place. Taking place despite the wishes, and the obstacles that Golden Boy was saying that the fight shouldn't happen. They didn't want the fight to happen. They was like, nah, man, we don't. That's a difficult style for you. He's got a tricky style, a real, very slick style. That Cuban background, very defensive fighter, a guy that's a pure boxer. It'd be hard for you to look good in a fight like that. And when the fight, jumped off, the fight took off. A lot of people thought Lara won that fight. It was a very, very close fight. And it was one of those fights that, you had people that thought Canelo won, you had people that thought Lara won. And that's what Golden Boy was fearing before that matchup took place, that it was going to be a tough, stylistic matchup for Canelo. And it was a fight that, could go either way. And they didn't want that type of fight at that point of Canelo's career. But he put his foot down and he demanded that fight. So if he puts his foot down and demands a Demetrius Andrade fight, they're both on the zone, then maybe that fight can jump off. Canelo's done that in the past, and and maybe he'll do that in this case after the Jacobs win. But first you got to get by Daniel Jacobs. That's going to be a tough fight. I'm going to be breaking down that fight as we get closer to the matchup. But that's going to be a very, very good fight. He hasn't gotten that much publicity. Being on that app, he's not got that. He hasn't had that buzz like other Canelo fights had, like with the Triple G's and the guys like that, and Amir Khans and stuff like that. But as the fight gets closer, man, I'm gonna break that fight down. That's a very intriguing matchup. This is the first style that Canelo has fought since Austin Trout. Austin Trout and Jacobs' style is similar. I think Jacobs probably is a little bit more aggressive in his style, but they're both similar guys. They're boxers. They use their jab. They like to create distance, create space, so they can get off their punches. And they're similar. They're similar fighters. It's just that Austin Trout never had the power that Danny Jacobs had. So it's gonna be the first time he fought a fighter with that type of style, slick style, technical style, since Austin Trout. So I'll be breaking down that matchup again. But once again, Canelo tells Triple G, I will gladly fight you again, but you will have to get a belt first, because I'm all about unifying this year. There's 2 titles out there that I want to get, and I want to get those titles first. And if you get a title, that fight can happen later, but not necessarily next. Again, this is JB Sports. And I'd like to thank all the views I've got today, and shout out to all the YouTubers and YouTubettes. Peace out.